This is just another day on the farm.
Today we're finally back to planting. Last time we were talking, up 10 inches of rain and just super saturated. We're down to 170 acres. The corn's not had really good optimum growing conditions. I think now the next 2 weeks they're talking 95 to 100 degrees, and then corn, even with good roots, when it gets that hot, it's going to roll up a little bit. So this is prime southern Indiana farm ground right here. The thing about farming, you know, a lot of people think that you just get in, hit auto steer, and go, but some of these patches here, it's just easier to plant with your markers.
Can I get a pair of boots? You go get me another pair of socks. Nope. Oh, well, you should coming off those. Nope. You went in that creek on your own. You can stay in those boots. He's in. I wasn't going to air dry them. I have a pair of Crocs in the truck. I don't want to. You want to wear some Crocs? No.
He acts like his father. Kevin's feet have not seen the day of sunlight for years.
I went across the creek at over at our shelter house, and there's a snapping turtle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they all wanted me to pick it up, and I said, there ain't no way. I like nature, but not that.
Watch out, slip rock.
Hey, we gotta go help put seed in. Have fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. We smell really bad. Oh, how fucking stupid. I smell my own seed. You aren't getting it. This is great. I can't move my foot. It's my toes.
My name's Kogan Cobb. I'm 12 years old. I'm the best Cobb. Just don't tell my dad, though. And I grew up in DuBois, born 2009, October 2nd. The best date ever made. We're just looking at the corn, seeing how well it's growing up and everything. Personally, I don't like the field because I'm the one normally disking it and ripping it. It ain't that fun at all. When it rains, my dad ain't the happiest person to be around. Being a kid on a farm and yelled at a little bit more on the farm. Sometimes can't go to Holiday World or something like that. But overall, it ain't too bad at all. All the chores I have to do is mostly fill up tractors, fill up the sprayer, put in Lawdus, and throw away the trash. Sometimes I gotta use the grain vac, disc, rip it, gotta pull up semis, fill them up, take them down to the JFS mill, and drive the combine. And that's basically what I do. Breaking down is a really big part of farming. Just don't be around your dad when stuff breaks down. It could get bad real quick. Weird how stuff can break down and keep it down for weeks or just 2 hours. Favorite thing to do, mess around with sisters, even though they're way stronger than me, and shooting guns. That's basically it. And also, I'm gonna be the best farmer and break 600 bushel. I was born to farm.
I'm planting D-Cobb 6599. The interesting thing about this hybrid is last year, Sean, the Y Fair, had a 391 bushel National Corn Growers Yield Contest entry with it. But the good thing about it is, too, it's got a Southern Rust trait. We plant 100% D-Cobb, have been for I don't know how many years, a long time. You know, it just seems like they keep on cranking out every year better genetics every year, which is really hard to believe that they can keep doing that year in, year out. I don't like working our ground down to bug dust. That's kind of the reason why we got a Case IH planter. It can make up for some of the rough sins of planting that we do. Our work is not near done just because we'll be done planting a crop. I'm pushing for these kids to kind of stay here and take over, so they got to deal with all this stuff. Then I could retire. That's the game plan. So them Cardinal boys, Brooks and Brandon, you know, met them probably 10 years ago. Didn't really get to be buddies with them till about the last 3-4 years. And tell you what, that's a hard-working family. They do a fantastic job. They got a trucking company. They got watermelons, grow corn, soybeans, wheat. Them guys stay on their toes with a lot of work there. Hats off to them.
You know, the question was asked what it was like growing up as a farm kid, and you know, at the time I probably didn't realize how blessed we were to grow up like we did. I think we're lacking is in young kids is the interest in agriculture. There's so many jobs available in ag. One could have a hell of a life being involved in. You know, we're experiencing inflation on the farm just like you are in your normal day life. And 2022's been kind of challenging so far, but we got a long ways to go till the end. Unfortunately, we've been hit with a lot of rain, and ever since I planted it, it's been getting hammered with rain. And actually, we got a ditch right here that overflowed, and the high ground survived, but anything low just was too much water. So we're replanting it. When it comes to replanting, we want to make sure and do it right. You got to have the stand to have a yield. You got to have corn out there to have the profits. See what happens this round. You bite into this, you'll break your teeth. A lot of people get confused about what we are growing out here, and then there's a big difference. But like I said, this is commercial corn, and we feed turkeys. We feed Kevin's turkeys. That's why they're doing so good over there. A farm with the diversity that we got in crops takes a lot of people. The first thing I think of is the watermelons. Victor and Aiden are some hired guys that help us. They've been with us for a long time. They're running the melon crew. I guess the hardest thing to manage is our pigs, our 4-H pigs. We just got 8 of them, but still, they don't handle this heat real well. So Nikki's been kind of home, keeping them washed down, taking care of them, and Kix has been helping her with that. Kix is my other son, and Kix has been out here riding the grain cart a little bit, kind of getting to that age where he's wanting to help out a little more, so we've been trying to teach him. Honestly, I think he took off on the 4-wheeler now, so I don't know what he's doing. But Nikki is an animal lover. So she wasn't in 4-H. She didn't grow up on a farm. I call her the city girl, but she's adapted really well. I mean, she's been great with them pigs, and she's got chickens. We've got 2 dogs at home that's her other kids to her. She's got them spoiled. 2 dogs are Daisy and Mama Dog. So I think she's even kind of took over the camera crew dog, the new farm dog, Chloe.
Oh boy. We came out the other day. Brooks looked out and he says, "Nikki, did you put the pin back in the gate?" And I said, "Yeah." He says, "Well, the cross barrow is running around outside." I said, "No." He's like, "Yeah." I came out and he'd flipped the gate up and out and escaped. So I had to put him back in there. We are taking each one of the pigs out to get them watered down because it's 100+ degrees with heat index. And the pigs don't sweat. They have no sweat glands, so they have no way of cooling themselves down when it gets hot like this. I usually try to do this twice a day. We've found that we always start out with their feet because you don't want to cool them down too fast. Let them get adjusted to it before you go all the way down their body because you don't want to put them in, if it's too hot, it can put them in shock. This is Boots. This is our cross gilt. She's very much tame. They all are, but she's a big baby. As you see, she'll automatically lay down, and they know exactly where to go. When I open that pen, they know it's time to get in the wash pen, and she loves every last minute of it. So she's usually my one that I get done with everybody, and she's yelling at me, snorting at me, and want me to put her back in here. So she's just a little bit rotten. But they love to have their face sprayed all over them. They'll drink right out of the hose. They love They love every minute of it. This is just another day on the farm. They are really, everybody talks about how stupid pigs are, and I'm like, they are not stupid at all. They are very smart, at least for short amounts of time. I said, I guess you think of a pig and you think of a mud pit, but I mean, they're a completely different breed when you're going with this angle of it. And once they get cooled off, then they'll be ready to eat.
Hey, I'm Brandon Cardinal with today here in the Melon field. Yeah, we're at the start of the season here. I'm laying down some ridges in front of our plastic layer for our watermelon crop. I'll get these ridges built, and then Dallas is running the plastic layer behind me. It unrolls the plastic, kind of better forms these ridges, lays down the plastic and covers up the edges. It's got a roller in front that feeds the tape underneath of it for the irrigation. 3 guys ride on the back. When a roll gets empty, we can actually start a new roll and try to keep going, you know, save some time. I was getting ready to park the tractor and realized I forgot 3 rows here, so I guess we'll go ahead and get that real quick. First time I've ever screwed up in my life. We're with us in the mountains today. This is where the real men work. We're a little different than them grain farmers like Brooks and Kevin Cobb. They get in the tractor every morning with their purses and set them down and don't get too dirty. But us mountain farmers, on the other hand, we gotta work out a little more, I think. I don't know, we always had a lot of fun. Brooks has that nice air conditioned tractor all the time. In a garden or something, you may have a sprinkler or grain crops. We have these overhead irrigations to irrigate. Well, this 75 acres, you know, with a pivot, couldn't get the whole field. You know, we'd have dry corners, and melons, you're putting a lot more money per acre in them, so you don't want to leave anything dry, or especially not on our sand. So put this tape underneath the plastic here. Pressure's up just like a garden hose would. And then it's got emitters here every 16 inches, drip out right there. This is going, and in the center of the field we'll lay bigger hose, tee this into it with some fittings. And it'll run water down, and then here on the end, cut off a little piece, hold this over just to kind of kink it. Doesn't run out the end. Pretty easy. And you'll have some tasty sweet watermelons. No doubt. So when we plant, we have a 3-row planter that'll match these 3 rows of plastic perfect. And 6 people will ride on the back, and they'll sit down fairly low where they can reach down. And it will have a wheel in it that will poke a hole and put a little water and fertilizer in there, and then they will physically put the plant from these are plants that started in a greenhouse in a tray, so they can pull them out of the tray and put them right down in the hole. So they're good starts already, and then with the plastic, that dirt will be warm underneath there and should take right off.
¿Cuántas plantas? Pienso que como 3,000 o 4,000. El macho siempre va en medio, la hembra va a la izquierda y derecha. Se dan cuenta, el macho siempre tiene la florecita amarilla y la hembra no tiene nada. Tengo que mirar hacia atrás para que vaya bien la sandía y no golpear una de las personas. Tengo que ir a 0.8 de velocidad para el tractor y no puedo ir más rápido porque luego no siembran bien la sandía. Si voy muy lento, el agua no me va a dar. Tengo que salir a una misma velocidad de ida y vuelta. ¿Cómo va? Derecho la línea de la sandía. Sí, la computer, the planet in the back is going the center of the plastic. Sometimes it's go to the left, sometimes go to the right, but it's not good. You need to go straight. No tengo que ir ni muy izquierda o derecha porque tiene el plástico, tiene mangueritas para regar el agua. Porque si me voy al lado izquierdo, derecho, puedo romper la manguerita y es más trabajo para nosotros para arreglarla.
¿Cómo se dice watermelon?
Sandía.
We're going to try to grow the biggest watermelon we absolutely can. So maybe we can find a big variety and get a good set on one and pick off the other blooms and pump some fertilizer to it. See if we can get one big enough and hollow it out like a canoe and take it down the river. We'll put Dallas in there. Yeah, that'd be good. My wife's name's Chelsea. We have 3 boys. Don't want to listen to me. They listen to her because she writes the paycheck. So she certainly won't listen to me. She's the boss lady. I better kick you guys out of here so I can go check on these guys over here and make sure it's going good and need to get spraying some herbicide. So thank you.
Chelsea Cardinal. Work in the office. I take care of billing. I have 3 boys. Pizza on his face. Hi. You have pizza all over your face. What? Babysitter of everyone out here. During the watermelon season, it's a whole animal of itself, just shipping our watermelons out. I take care of the payroll. A lot of people, they go home at night and they don't have to worry about like their job. Well, when we get home, that's all we talk about is what we have to do the next day. I love being out here. I love working with my family. And you can get mad at each other and then you have to get over it, and you do get over it like within 10 minutes. It's just your family. You have to do that. You're all for the same goal, so. We've been married, I think, don't quote me, I think it's been like 14 years. We have 3 sons, an 11-year-old Quaid, and then we have twin 7-year-olds, Augie and Judd. All boys, no girls out here, just our dogs that are girls. So I went to my college roommate's birthday party. It was at a bar. She introduced me like 3 times to him that night, 3 or 4 times. A guy named Brandon Cardinal. She got a text message from him the next day and it was like, Chelsea was awesome. And I had to make the first move. I didn't know he grew watermelons though. I think I might have changed my mind. No, I'm just kidding. I worked on a watermelon field growing up. I think he was surprised to know of how much like I knew about it when I started dating him. But like I'd go out in the watermelon fields with him and we'd check T-tape, and like if there was a leak or something in the T-tape, I'd splice it myself. And like he doesn't ever like to give me credit because I don't ever give him any either, but I think he was like, oh dang, she can do that. But everything that Brandon and Brooks and I do, or Nikki, is for our boys. Like, you know, we're just trying to keep it going for the next generation. That's what we always say. Quaid has been up here forever. All the crew calls him the money man because like when payday came, I'd have him on my hip and I'd be paying everybody. To this day, he's 11 now, but they call him the money man out here. So that's pretty cool.
Now it's a hot day here on Cardinal Farms, and got our bumblebees shipped in today. So I gotta get Victor a map here in a second, show him where we're gonna set them at. Come in these boxes with 4 individual hives on them, and just open the doors and let them out when you put them in the fields. So we're told that the bumblebees, and you can see it too, they come out earlier in the day and they stay out later in the day. They'll come out when it's rainy and cloudy, just kind of go at it all day, pollinating the flowers. The honeybees, they're more of a fair weather. It's gotta be nice and calm, sunny. You don't usually see them out too much on cloudy days, and definitely when it gets real hot during the day, they go back in. You don't normally see them out real late. Without the bees and some good pollination, wouldn't be able to have any seedless watermelon. Yeah, they come in a reefer, which is a refrigerated truck, and we turn it down to about 50 degrees and haul them just to kind of calm them down, and so they can handle the ride down here. And then once you take them out, they're already getting a little louder. They're ready to get outside and see what's going on. So. No, we're gonna go if you, I didn't know what you had planned, but 4 hives in a box, you know? So I'm about a hive an acre of the bumblebees, and then a hive an acre of the honeybees. These are the bumblebees here. So see, there's a in and out hole. So you open like that, see one right there? So you open it like that and you get the field, and they gotta chew through that and come out. But that's the only hole they can come out of, and then that's the only hole they can go in. Whenever you want to move them or you're going to spray or something like that, you close off the exit hole and you can move it or whatever, or spray, and then next day just open her back up. And what now there? Like when you hit them down, you can hear them kind of get louder too. I'm gonna get on Google Earth here and print off a map of the field and just kind of show Victor where I'd like to place them at. They'll usually, like, if you're around there and one's after you, it'll usually kind of hit you first. So if you get that, you better start swatting and backing up, yeah, because it's coming. Yeah, but there's other times they'll just ding you. I mean, it may not bother you, but I'd freaking swell up.
My great-grandpa came here in 41 and came here with cattle and raised several cattle, and then my dad actually took the cattle over from there, and we used to feed a lot of cattle, and we pastured a lot of cattle. Had some cow-calf herds. 20 years since we've had cattle now, but we have fun with it, and the boys learn a lot. Teaches them how we get food on the table and where it comes from. I mean, that's been great for my boys, even though they were raised on the farm. Hey guys, appreciate you taking some time and visiting with us today, and have to come back next time and see how good a job I've done.
There's dirt on my hands. Strong